Macmillan Audio presents The Middleman by Olen Steinhauer. Read for you by Ari Fliakos. If no one out there understands, start your own revolution and cut out the middleman. Billy Bragg. Waiting for the Great Leap Forwards. The Brigade, Sunday, June 18th, 2017. 1. Kevin Moore leaned against the counter at Sushi Taka. He counted the rings in his spicy tuna roll, 1, 2, 3, thinking of architecture. Then he went about the ritual. The trimming of the chopsticks, the laying on of ginger, the measured smear of wasabi. The flavor was appealing, but nothing special, not to his palate, yet he had eaten so much of this food since moving to the West Coast a year ago that by now the ritual was second nature. The joy he took in eating sushi was one of form and not content. This realization felt like something important. He shifted his gaze to the window in front of him, watching, like always. A few minutes ago, he'd seen a homeless guy urinate against the bland office building across the street, turning to face the wall as if by this show of modesty no one would notice. But San Francisco residents had seen far worse, hadn't everyone? So no one bothered him. By the time Kevin's phone vibrated beside the tray, number unknown, the homeless guy was long gone and there was nothing to interrupt the steady Sunday trickle of tourists, vagrants, and hookers. "Hello?" he said into the phone. "Time to go, George," said a male voice. The office building blurred. "Really?" "Now," the caller said, then hung up. Kevin blinked until his sight cleared, the hazy distance coming into focus again. He wasn't scared, not really, because he'd been waiting weeks for this moment. Each morning, walking to the office depot in the Potrero Center where he stocked shelves and tried to be patient with customers, he'd carried in him the weight of knowing that this could be the day. It had never been, though, and after a while he'd begun to wonder if the day would ever come. Maybe Jasmine and Aaron had been full of hot air, posers in a city of posers, and all his time here would turn out to be a waste. And now, no, not fear. Anxiety, yes, but not fear. He lifted his phone again and scrolled through contacts. Mom, he typed, "Off on trip with friends, let you know when I get back. XX. Send." Then he took out his wallet and removed his MasterCard, the Virginia driver's license he'd never gotten around to changing, and even his library card, but he held on to his debit card. He brought everything to the trash can and dropped in his soiled plate, the empty cup of miso soup, the cards, and his phone. As they disappeared into the darkness, an involuntary sigh escaped him. Though he knew better, he'd grown attached to the phone that had been pieced together in some Chinese sweatshop. The truth was that Kevin Moore loved the modern world even when he loathed it. The trash can lid snapped shut. It was accomplished. He walked casually over to traffic-clogged Montgomery and south toward Market past the grand columns of U.S. Bank, and at the ATM emptied his account of $580. He pocketed the cash, then found a trash can at the corner of Pine. Goodbye, cruel world. In went the debit card. He looked around, wondering if anyone had spotted his madness, but no one stared. Like a man pissing on a wall, people had probably seen this sort of thing before. They'd seen worse. What was unexpected, though, was the feeling of lightness that overcame him. The anxiety fell away as he walked deeper into his day. A phone and a bunch of cards, so simple. Yet with a few deft moves he'd become unmoored. Who now was to say his name wasn't George? Who could say if he was a rich man or a poor one? Who really could say what he was? I'm a NASA scientist, he could say, or I'm a cop. The only thing he wasn't allowed to say was, I'm a revolutionary seeking to bury all this modern sublimity.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?